All right, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Self-Achievement Network. My name is Dominic. I'm the host today here with Sharif Yusuf, our marketing guru, the admin of the marketing group. Hi, Sharif. How are you today, man?
Very well. How are you, Dominic?
I'm doing very
How is
well.
everybody doing?
Excellent. We had some snow today here in Chicago, and yeah, there's no sun, but hopefully we'll get enough snow to cover the ground and make it look all pretty and white again.
Yeah,
Seems to be a little bit
awesome.
of a delay.
Yep, looks like it.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was working perfectly. Are you on Wi-Fi? Are you plugged in on the Ethernet?
No, I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm on Wi-Fi, but I'm on 5G.
Hmm. Okay. Well, we are here today, and Sharif is here with us today. He's going to be talking about the marketing communications mix. And we had a little bit of a discussion about that, and it has several components to it. And Sharif is going to explain what all that means. And I want to say to all of you, thank you for joining me today, joining us today. And so, yeah, take it away, Sharif. What do you have for us?
Well, we spoke many times and we said that marketing is about communications, right? And companies just want to communicate about their products and services to their customers and potential customers, and they want to be in constant contact with their customers, because the more we engage with our customers, the more we understand their actual needs, and so we are able to provide a better product or a better service, um, and then in order to do that, so we need to start communicating with them and about these new products, new enhancements, new events, new promotions, and so on. So this constant communication thing is very important in marketing, and now companies look for complete communication solutions, especially with all the breakthrough that's happened in technology and the adoption of all the devices, the new devices, and so on. Um, and because we use a lot of devices, even, I mean, you can be on your laptop now, and then in an hour's time you be on your phone, and then on your tablet or your iPad, and then you go on your uh, TV, through an internet service, or whatever it is. But we do use a lot of devices, and we're present on various digital platforms throughout the day, and that's why companies are doing everything that they can to find us in order to communicate with us. So the idea here becomes that they want to deliver that same consistent message through a variety of media to have sort of a synergistic impact on the target market.
Mhm.
Because maybe if you're on your phone and they're targeting people who watch TV, then they won't be able to reach you. But the idea is to try to use all these media channels, or all these advertising or communications channels in synergy, in sync, so that they reach people on their devices, at their platform, on their platforms, on their different locations, through these different channels. Key here is to try to integrate all these channels so that they work together, not in isolation. Does this make sense?
It does, yes. It sounds like it's a system that's going to work in harmony with each other instead of pieces that are somewhat disconnected.
Like that. I like that. Actually, the way you portrayed it here is exactly how this works, and you know there are all these channels that we know of. We know that there is advertising, and we know there's public relations, and events, and experiential marketing, and sales promotion, and personal selling, and all that. These are all channels, that can be used in communications with the customer. But the key here for using a communications mix is to how to integrate them all together and make sure that they work in sync and deliver that same consistent message through all these channels. Now, as I was just mentioning, there are a number of them. There's advertising, there's direct response communications, there's also digital or interactive communications, there's public relations, experiential marketing and events and sponsorships, sales promotion, and also personal selling. And these are, just the main ones that come to my mind. But there are a lot of them, and at the same time, um, the key thing for marketers is to try to have them all work in harmony in order to deliver that message.
Okay, I get it. I totally understand, and I think it's a unified approach. Sounds like.
Yes. And when you look at all these channels of communication, you think that maybe it's a little difficult to try to utilize them all at the same time. But what happens is that companies can deploy some of them or all of them according to a schedule. And once we say schedule, then we need a plan. And this is what we call an integrated marketing communications. So this is all about planning all these channels of communication to work together. It's recently been named differently to integrated brand promotion, but pretty much they are the same. And the concept is to integrate all these different communications channels to deliver the same message.
And this is something that is a new concept, or this is something that you've come up with yourself?
No, it's actually a known marketing concept since years and years, and it is highly adopted by actually it is adopted by a lot of people, and you come to think of it, and you see yourself sometimes doing, even if you're a small business, sometimes you decide that you want to print here or a coupon, and at the same time you want to use your Facebook or LinkedIn, or you want to use your Instagram, and at the same time you want to personally sell your product. So this is actually happening, and it is being adopted by a lot of companies, even small businesses and professionals as well. And it's about coordination of all these forms of marketing communications into a synergized program that maximizes the impact on the target audience.
Okay.
So today I'm just going to touch on a few of them, and then we can speak about the other ones in part 2 next week. And today I'm just going to speak a little bit about advertising and a few of the others. And we all know that advertising has grown so much over the years, and it's become also a different. It's got a different approach now, especially with digital and everything. So a lot of companies now are utilizing advertising, not just the traditional advertising of above the line and using TV and radio and billboards and all that, but they're also utilizing digital advertising as well. And the thing is that you want to deliver a message through advertising that is consistent with the message you're going to deliver through direct response or through public relations, for example. And in doing this, you need to have a plan in place, and the plan needs to identify the target market first in order to deliver that message, because previously advertising would go to the mass. You would, companies would put an ad on TV, and it would just hit millions and millions of people. But now, especially these days, companies are taking a more targeted approach for their advertising or for their communications for that matter, and they're reaching their customers or their target market better than they used to do before. So in terms of cost, it's better, and it's also targeted, so you get to reach the right people rather than just reaching everybody.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to ask a question. What type of a company would want to utilize this type of an approach?
Any company, pretty much. Any company. Large organizations can definitely utilize this on a larger budget, but also smaller companies and professionals can also utilize this as well on their own budget. But the concept is pretty much the same. You can use all these communications channels and just have somebody make sure that everything is in sync and that you're delivering consistent messages and that you're targeting the right people. And like I said, you don't have to use all 7 of them, for example, at the same time, but maybe pick the ones that are suitable for your business and try to do them. So I'll give you an example. You know, some of the companies that offer beauty products like Procter and Gamble and Henkel and these guys, you see, if you go into a drugstore or a grocery store, you sometimes see a little stand for some of their products, and then before that they had already advertised that they will be selling, let's say, type of soap or this type of cream or shower gel or whatever it is, and then they put it in advertising, and then you go to the store and you see the same thing at the store. But the thing is that if there's a salesperson right there and they don't have enough information to sell you the product, then the money that they've spent in the advertising for this presence just goes down the drain. It's a waste. So this is how 2 of these items work together. That they've advertised, and at the same time, the salespeople have to be trained and have the knowledge and information to be able to sell that product. Make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
And maybe this is a large scale example, but what I want to say is that it definitely works for all companies, small or big, and it's just about utilizing which channel would be best for you or for your business, and at the same time, which what budget you're going to utilize.
Okay.
One other means of communication is direct response, and we see a lot of these that we receive in the mail when you get something like a coupon or something in the mail, and then it's got a little you know, these QR codes,
Yes.
the quick response codes, and the good thing about this is it's directed towards you because it's not for everybody, even if they're targeting maybe 100, 500 people, but still it is very targeted. And what you need to do is just you scan this QR code with your phone, and then you get all this information about it. Sometimes automobile companies use these. Sometimes companies that offer lawn services use these. You know, any company can use these. And all you need to do is just like I said, set that QR code, and then you get all the information that you need. Maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's a discount, maybe it's a coupon or something, and you just get it on your phone. But again, the beauty of it is that it's directed to you, and it works in sync with something else, like a sales promotion or even advertising campaign. So this is how direct response can make an impact as well. Similarly, digital communications as well. We are on our phones and our iPads and tablets pretty much all day. I mean, I just made a quick survey the last week over with my students, and I asked them how long they spend online, on their phones, and they said on average they spend about 5 hours
Wow.
per day on average on their phones. So on social media, by the way, that is. So it shows you, and this is in line with the research that I had from before, so it does make sense. But basically, what I want to say is that companies utilize digital communications in reaching their customers. And you can use your social media platforms to reach your customers because it's very personalized as well. So companies use Facebook, they use Twitter, they use LinkedIn. And one of the most prominent examples that come to mind is actually Wendy's. You know Wendy's, of course, fast food.
Yes.
So Wendy's have one of the best Twitter accounts I have ever seen. If you haven't been on Wendy's Twitter feed, please do that. They are so funny. They are always communicating with their customers, and there's always banter going back and forth. And not only with their customers as well, they are communicating also and having banter with their competitors. So sometimes you see some banter between Wendy's and McDonald's, for example. So it is really, really interesting for their customers, and it keeps their customers super engaged with everything they do. Every time, I mean, they have something to say. They keep communicating with their customers, and they tell them lots of things. So not only just for fun, but also they tell them information. There's a new sandwich coming, there's a new promotion coming, that this restaurant is doing this and that, and then when it comes to a banter between them and another brand, it's just hilarious. So it is very engaging. I do advise people to go onto the Wendy's Twitter account and check it out. It's one of the best.
Okay. Sounds great. What advantage would it be to have a marketing team that can implement these ideas?
They would have the know-how, and that's the important part of this. Instead of trying to do things while there's little experience or little know-how about this, I do recommend having people in marketing or have experience in marketing to be able to do that. It's not okay. So I have to say this: it's not an easy thing, and it's not rocket science as well. Well, it is difficult, a little bit difficult, but to have all these channels, put a plan for all these channels. So imagine that you need to have a plan for advertising in all of these channels. That means that you need to identify a target market, and you need to have objectives, and you need to have a budget, and all the components of a plan. And then a means for control and measure, and then you have to do the same for direct response, the same for public relations, and so on. And this is a lengthy exercise, and it needs people who understand how these channels can work together. Because sometimes things can be done through personal selling, and they won't make sense to do them in public relations, for example. But you can do another activity in public relations that complements what you're doing in personal selling. And this is where you get the integrated marketing communications.
Interesting. Can you see the comments on the side?
See Mona saying that it makes absolute sense, and sales agents go together, targeting clients online. Yep. One can't handle more than 2 or 3 maximum platforms professionally. Yes, for sure. Hey, Mona, how are you? Thank you for joining, and thank you for your insights.
Yeah, she can only type. We can't bring her into the room right now. We could have if she was in already. I would like to actually experiment with that a little bit. But she's so right about the managing different platforms. It becomes really complicated, and I have Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and doing all 4 of those has making me crazy.
I know, same here. I totally see what you're saying. Yep. Yeah.
So it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it is. It is very difficult, and this you're talking. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that you're just talking here about social media. So this is just one channel of communications. But I mean, what if you decide to incorporate some of the other channels? It's just it becomes more and more difficult in a way. But if you have the right people that can actually do this planning and do this integration for you, then I think you're better off.
It requires a team of people. For one person to do it, and probably most of the people in this group understand that a one-man band is really difficult. And what I've always known to be true is that if I manage one platform really well, then I'm doing good, which is right now utilizing Facebook for the Self-Achievement Network. That in itself is complicated, especially when, for example, there's nominations for Person Behind the Passion, or there's a new promotion in one of the subgroups. So it has gotten to a point where it can be really complex, and it's like a full-time job.
I know, it could be really, I mean, it could be very difficult trying to coordinate all these activities together. And I definitely see your point. And I do advise if you decide as a company or as a service to adopt the integrated marketing communications approach, then definitely go to the experts, try to use the experts and get their opinions, because yeah, it's better. It's much better.
I agree. And Mona also said maybe one day we can come all together. Yes, I would really enjoy that. I think it would be great. Mona does her own promotions. I think from what I see, I mean, she's mostly on Facebook. Is that true, Mona? Mostly Facebook? Yeah, I don't know if she's still there. But anyway, we're going to do part 2
Maybe
next
there's
week at the same time.
way as well. Yeah. Yes, we are.
Yeah, you can address her there. So yeah, so next week we will be back to complete part 2, because this is a pretty big discussion. What's your recap?
I would say that, the whole thing is about communications. The whole marketing thing is about the communications, and how we as companies need to constantly be in contact with our customers. Now, there are a number of ways to reach them. They are present on a number of platforms, digital and non-digital. Using this integrated marketing communications methodology expands the company's possibilities of reaching them, and it has to be just synergetic, like you did, synergetic approach in order to get the maximum benefits from this methodology.
Okay. What I think maybe would be a good idea is to piece together a little mind map so we could see the components and see how they all fit together. I gave you some homework.
I'll put something together. I'll put something together for next week. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Something very simple. I mean, do you have a button there where you can share your screen?
Let me see here. Yes, I do.
There you go. You could throw up a graphic of the components to people can see. Just something simple, even hand drawn would be fine, or
Yeah.
take a picture of it. Hand draw it, take a picture, and
I would
you can put it up there.
definitely do that.
Okay.
I will definitely do that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Right.
Appreciate all your insights.
Thank you very much for having me. A pleasure. See you all next.
Okay. Thank you, Mona, for joining us.
Have a great weekend.
All right, man. Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Mona. See you soon.
Well, all right. Bye-bye now.